Die to press through this washer. This is my little baby lathe. Major issues with the whole controller. The speed controller isn't working. I can't get this DC motor, small little baby lathe. So yeah, I'm just started facing the surface. This is the stock 1-inch solid round construction steel, not bright mild, not what would be best for machining. I need to clean off this heel. I need to do this thing, finish here. Damn people on the road making noise. This is just how it works around here. So this is the great advanced sketch for what I'm trying to make. Taper, I need to do compound slide here. Do a taper. It's about 10 millimeters, 8 millimeters. 680 tau was around 20, but yeah, 680 tau, 25 being the other diameter that. 9 being millimeters, so about 350 tau. These are not accurate. I just around 350 I'm going to do. So it's just to fit through a hole and then be able to push washer type material through and form it into a ring shape. So yeah, really lovely sketch. This is how I do things when I'm being lazy. I could do this a lot better and do it properly, but yeah, that's how it goes. So yeah, let's go from here to it being a bit more finished, and then we'll come back and look at it, because it's a pain in the ass to wash your hands every time. There's obviously metal particles and everything else. Again, I've just cleaned up this piece, faced off this. Need to break this edge, need to polish this a little bit. Computer power supply I'm using to drive this is giving me lots of trouble because it's not the correct thing at all. I'm running this on 24, not really what it should be running at all. So yeah, it's gonna take a while. Okay, this is the extent of the work so far. I need to put a spacer in between there so I can get my 30, because this right now here is 10 millimeters, so that being 10, and I want 8 here. I can't get that, I'll bounce into the jaws, so I need to put a spacer. So pull this out, put a spacer, hopefully still keep it concentric enough. I went down straight to 700 instead of 680. Maybe I should have left it 10 to above just to make a final skim, but I did not. It was late, mosquitoes was biting, I didn't really take time to think it out properly. With the taper, compound slide set at 30 degrees. Problem with this is this was really badly designed by Shailene, so I have to put the tool inverted to get the center to line up here, and because of that I am really cutting on the wrong direction of this thing. So yeah, no problem. Really consider sending out replacements for this or flipping it, but this was purchased many years ago, so yeah, no point in arguing now. By the time I figured this out, it was well over time when it was possible to even ask for anything. Anyway, so what I'll probably have to do is make a holder to put in this to center back a tool, because this is terrible. I am cutting on the wrong side. I have a slope like that and I'm trying to cut. I'm touching a blunt edge before I cut, so I'm really grinding this thing away. Terrible approach. Progress, I don't think it's complete. I took off the compound slide already. I should not have. That said, I'm going to drill through. This is a 1/4 inch, then go to 5/16. I have a 5/16 bolt, which I can also use to pull this thing and make it work instead of using it in a vise. So that's why I'm drilling, and then I'll have to come back, touch it back all this, make sure it's correct amount of depth, because I generally have a 3/8 drill, so the 3/8 shaft, so that has to be at least 3/8. Maybe it needs to go straight to the 5/16, which is about 8 millimeters thereabouts. So I'll go straight down to that. So that's why I'm going to use the 5/16 as a gauge to essentially cut straight that taper back properly and then polish the whole thing. This is the finished item. Not too bad. I will try it out first and see if it works, and then I'll polish this piece, because this is the piece that will be rubbing against the washer. So this piece will get polished if it works. If it doesn't work, well, lots of fun. 2 hours today, hour and a half yesterday, yeah, 3.5 hours to make something this size. Lathe is very small. My machine is hell. Could I machine something if my life depended? Maybe, given enough time, many hours, maybe, just maybe. First use, I've nicked it up a bit already, scraped off the back, hammer upon it, damaged the pieces here, scrape an edge here. It still needs to be polished. I think it can work. Nicked that up already, and it was supposed to take a washer and put this here and press that washer straight through, so that basically goes straight through. Let's put it this way. It washer goes in there, and when you press this, the washer folds through and comes out, and you end up with a ring. So yeah, first one I've ponged up this pretty badly. This is a stainless steel washer, 5/8 stainless steel washer. Actually, it's a 3/4 washer. I use a 5/8 bolt before this. Yeah, so I've mashed up a stainless steel washer that is, I don't know, probably 3mm, not the least amount of force used there. So yeah, having done that, I realized that this hole through for the bolt theory, that I can pull this with a bolt and press this through by putting it back in there and tighten a bolt, no, never will work. I used an extension bar on that 4-inch vice grip to make this thing work. Yeah, extension bar and a vice grip, there's no way a small bolt has the threads to do this. So yeah, I'll polish this back up for another use, and I need to figure out how I want to get that to fold properly. That's why this ended up pounding up like that, because I ended up using a hammer and trying to pound this. The thing didn't fold properly, so I ended up pounding it a bit and I get it to fold in there. Ring device, I've repolished this, I've used it the first time and ding it up, so this is the second day. This is my prepared ring disc, the disc that's going to turn into a ring. So I'm going to put this here, squeeze that with a socket on this side and a washer, and push the ring through the washer, of course, to fold over and then into a socket, and theoretically I should get this to fold over into a ring. Let's see. This is the prepared disc and the punch. This washer is the knockout. The washer when it forms into a ring. This is the washer through which it's forming, and this is just a socket so that this has something to go into. Everything is stuck together, tape, to try to keep it in the correct orientation until it starts to form. Once it starts to form, it should proceed. Let's go ahead, let's see what we get. Is it squeezed in now? I need to knock it out and see what we got. Chances are likely that the little disc that we tried to form into the ring might have impinged on one side of the socket and gotten damaged. That happens, it's a possibility. Let's knock this open and see what we got. Just look, that clearly did not happen. It went through, it was aligned correctly, so that came out. So now let's go a little further, knock this out, and then this back in the washer is supposed to be able to pull out that ring. When taking the washer out, we seem to have gotten a nicely formed ring, a little lip there as we would expect, but nicely formed ring. So what I need to do is put this on top here and just tap it a bit, and let's get it out. Not too bad for a second attempt, but this thing is eccentric. It came in and pulled one side more on the other. I'm gonna have to start using this center hole that I have here for alignment, use a bolt and use it running through and get a hole in the main disc the same size so the bolt can keep it all centered. Not a major deal though. I believe I can put that on there, pong it in and get it a little flattened in, and even machine it off and make it work. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad for a second attempt. So we've gotten ourselves a ring from a washer. Little reheating and some pounding, and I got a nice end result. This is, mightn't look it, but this will clean up very nicely on the lid. This will trim up nicely. The diameter is almost correct. Has a slight extra piece here. I've not gotten that to go perfect, but yeah, and this is not too bad. Definitely gonna get something up top about probably this depth, and you know, polished out, it's gonna look pretty good. Sun has gone down, the bugs are out. I guess this is work for another day. Since the last machining of the piece to press out, I've remounted the lathe, so it's looking a lot better. Still have scrappy wires, I need to work on that. Putting the piece this way, I'm gonna face it first, try to clean it up, and then deal with this side. This is the semi-finished ring. As you can see, probably can't, there's a taper here. I think it's visible actually. So what I need to do is expand this side to match this side. I think this is about the final dimension I want. So simplest way to do that. Could have built a mandrel, could have done lots of other little things. Expansion bolt. And theory on this, and this is a theory, we'll see if it works. when you screw this in, this pulls in and this opens out. This is a smooth one. It actually is quite cheap. This is probably like 50 cents US or something like that. I mean, less than 50 cents US I paid for this. So yeah, it's a little some scarring here, some what you call that, it's not really new, but yeah, some impressions to grab. Those are practically close to negligible, so it should have no impact and it should not actually leave a marring on the inside. So I'm going to put this in, put it with the taper. It opens this way out, so I'm going to put the side that is tighter, smaller, this way, so when it opens, and just keep monitoring it as I tighten this to make sure it comes out essentially without a taper. It's concentric. Take it from a cone into a cylinder essentially. Documenting it, this bolt piece here folded over, and again, because you're forming a taper like this, obviously the bottom of a taper is supposed to be smaller. This is really a cylinder they use, so yeah, that was bound to happen. That isn't a problem for its known application, which is to grab into the wall, so that's great. In terms of this, it's now even. It now works quite well. So apart from that, I've managed to get a thing. Let me see if I can find it on it. Damn it, I can't. That's it there? Yeah, that's it there. Managed to get a ding, not sure how. With the vise, this been hanging down on the vise, and I'm tightening on top here, grabbing this and the ring down here. It's touching bottom of the vise and got my little thing. That's unfortunate. Apart from that, it's now perfectly, well, reasonably cylindrical. It's black because I had to heat it back all up and just nearly copper. So yeah, I need to then polish this back and it'll come back shiny and nice. So I'll polish this off and put this down as a finished product, and then do another one and experiment around with that. Probably try to build a small, I wouldn't use it with CNC, but CNC router to hold it and turn it at known angles, and then possibly drill some holes in it, do some extensive little things just for the sake of trying it. In a small mandrel, slip the ring on. It's tight. Wood is a very good material for that because it compresses. So as you press, it gets a good friction grip, even though it's not gripping all around. If you use a more solid material like plastic or steel, you'd have major problems. This is not perfectly circular because again the metal used expansion, you have a slight eccentricity, but then again, whose finger is perfectly circular either, right? So yeah, so I'm going to put this back up and grab it here, and then it's center drill on this side, so we'll have a good center and we should be able to keep this concentric and then polished out. Let's see how fine I can get this. Between running it up probably up to 400, maybe even 800 on the lathe here, and then, well, on the lathe too, I'll continue. I'll probably put some polish, some press stone or something light and a Dremel, and see if I can get this, or even just a cloth, and see if I can get this to almost mirror finish. And then what I have to do is break the edges a little bit and do the inside, but I want to do the outside first. Finish item, very good mirror finish. We went with 400 going into 800 going to 2000 grit, then doing a fine polish with pressed stone, and it's not bad. Hopefully this is focusing well. Now the good, it's pretty shiny, decent, nice tapered edges, no sharpers. The bad now, let's get into it. I'm not a jewelry maker, so let's stand and see if I can get a better view of this. Right, this side is a little bit thicker, not everywhere is perfectly equal. Again, jewelry, that doesn't matter as much, but yeah. Second thing, this side is a lot thinner, and again, I think a little too thin, right? Third thing, I have a nick. Let me see if I can find that on it. This was during the expansion process. What happened is, there it is, not there. It touched and the vise, and that nick is a little too big to the machine out or get out, buff out. I would end up with too little material, so that has remained. Few grind marks still on. I didn't run through the correct time with the grits to get this perfectly polished, so there's a few sanding marks showing. That doesn't matter that much. At the end of the day, this will actually corrode slightly in a little while. Right, slightly, not enough to be a problem, but enough where that probably wouldn't be as big an issue. Inside, if we look, you would see some amount of blackening, and that is where the area is a little depressed and has not been polished out properly. It could be, but there's no really point to that, and that is really as a remnant artifact of the pressing process. Some areas are a little bit lower than the others inside. I could have machined this, but it is the correct size. Beyond that, it was expanded slightly. Again, with the expansion bolt, it could already be opened up a little. It's a little bit painstaking when you have to heat it underneath it, but yes, it works. And just to point out again, the expansion bolt was actually closer to 2 US, not 50 cents US, as I had previously said.